"Woman, behold your son. Behold your mother." Jesus now turns his attention from the criminal on the cross beside him to his loved ones that are there in attendance. But as he's turning his attention, he sees Roman soldiers divvying up his clothing between each other. And on the ground, staring up at a dying Jesus on the cross, is his mother Mary, his aunt Mary, and his dear friend the disciple John, his best friend, the one whom he loved. I can only imagine Jesus making eye contact with his mother. She knew what was to happen with Jesus when the angel told her she would give birth to the Savior of the world. But knowing and experiencing are two very different things. Because I see a mother that is devastated, seeing the child she carried in her womb, held in her arms. The ones whose wombs that she cared and bandaged now look on helplessly as her son is struggling to breathe and slowly suffocating to death. Jesus, full of mercy and grace, calls her woman, which is a term of endearment in Greek. And he tells her while looking to John, "Behold your son." Jesus was not concerned about his own pain and humiliation here. His concern was the welfare of his mother, his mommy. He wanted her to know that she would be cared for by the disciple John. John was the one that will now care for her and be her protection. Jesus confirms this by telling John that Mary is now his mother, to treat her and to love her like his own mom. When you read the Gospels, you will see that John was the only disciple bold enough to walk with these women and stand with them at the cross. We see John's devotion not just to Jesus here, but also to Mary. Most scholars agree that Jesus' father Joseph had already died by the time of Jesus' crucifixion and death. So culturally, it should have been James or Jude or another male sibling of Jesus that would have had the responsibility to care for Mary. But we see in the scriptures that they were not followers of Jesus yet. They were not yet disciples. So Jesus knew that John would provide well for not just her physical needs, but also her spiritual needs. Because spiritual matters were still of the highest concern to Jesus for his friends and family. What is so symbolic about this scene is that the illustration of being in a new spiritual family, which Jesus says specifically about in John 1:12, "But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God." This scene is like the root of all of the one another statements we see in the New Testament, as John will now live them out in duty and joy to Mary. So for us, as followers of Jesus Christ, we should always look to love one another, be devoted to one another, to help one another, encourage one another, exhort one another, and serve one another. Behold your church family.